I didn't move. I couldn't. The thing in the window remained still, watching, its mouth stretched into that impossible grin. Then, with deliberate slowness, it tapped against the glass, a single sharp sound that echoed in the silence. My breath hitched. My instincts screamed to run, but my legs refused. A second tap, then a third. The grin never faltered. It was waiting, daring me. Then the lights in the house flickered on. Every window, every room illuminated at once. The dark, empty house I had fled from was now glowing. But something was wrong. The lights weren't still. They pulsed, as if breathing. The house exhaled a low groan. The front door, which I had slammed shut behind me, creaked open on its own. The wind had died. The world outside was eerily still. No crickets, no distant hum of cars, just the open door and the silent waiting house. I backed away. And then the lights in the house went out again. Darkness swallowed the windows. The thing in the upstairs window was gone. A snap behind me. I spun. The trees bordering the yard stood silent. Branches twisted like reaching fingers. But something had moved. The hairs on my neck rose. My eyes darted between the shadows. Then I saw it. A figure, tall and thin, standing at the edge of the trees. The grin was there, the same impossible grin, but it wasn't alone. A second figure emerged, another, then another, identical grinning shapes stepping from the woods, their movements slow and unnatural, their heads tilted, bodies too rigid, like mannequins that had learned to walk. The air turned heavy. I stumbled back, my foot catching on uneven ground. The moment I moved, so did they. Not walking, gliding, silent, smooth, like they weren't touching the ground at all. Their grins never changed. Their eyes never blinked. I turned and ran. The ground felt unsteady beneath me. The world tilted. The trees seemed to shift, bending as if reaching for me. My lungs burned, my heart pounded. I reached the road. The figures followed. Not fast, not slow, just steady. I sprinted toward my neighbor's house. Lights glowed in their windows, a beacon of sanity, safety. My feet pounded against the pavement. Almost there, almost. I slammed into something, not a person, not a wall. Something soft, something that moved. I fell backward, landing hard on the pavement. My head swam. My vision blurred. The thing I had collided with loomed over me. Not one of the grinning figures. This was bigger. A shifting mass of writhing limbs, stretching and twisting as though it was rearranging itself. The streetlight flickered above, casting its shadow against the road. Too many arms, too many fingers. And in the center of it all, the grin, not stretched across a face. It was part of the thing. It bent toward me. I scrambled backward, blood roaring in my ears. My vision swam. The edges of the world blurred like melting wax. The thing lurched forward. I turned and ran. Not to the neighbor's house, not to the road, to the forest. Branches clawed at my arms, my legs. Shadows twisted, forming grotesque shapes that slithered in my peripheral vision. My breath came in ragged gasps. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I had to get away. The trees thinned, a clearing, a lake. The water was wrong, not black, but empty. A void, no ripples, no movement, just a still, glass-like abyss. A whisper behind me. I turned. The grinning figures stood at the tree line, dozens of them, watching, their heads tilted at identical angles, unmoving. The thing from the road slithered toward me, its shifting form warping as it crawled. The grin widened. There was nowhere left to run. The whispers grew louder. The water called. My body moved before my mind could stop it. I plunged forward. Cold engulfed me. It wasn't water. It was something thicker, clinging, pulling, dragging me down. The grins faded. The world twisted. I sank. I woke up in my bed. Morning light spilled through the blinds. My alarm buzzed softly. My body ached. My limbs felt heavy. But I was home. Safe. Had it been a nightmare? I sat up. My heart was still pounding. I turned my head toward the window. The street was quiet. Normal. The trees swayed in the breeze. Relief washed over me. I exhaled, running a shaky hand through my hair. Then, movement. I glanced toward my bedroom mirror and froze. I was still in bed. But my reflection wasn't. It was standing, motionless, watching me with wide, unblinking eyes. Then,